Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section. She call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Look on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I let get back again. She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, is somebody hurt? Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right here, late night with Shay. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night. Shay, on Shay's too. She back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's too. Press replay. Like you thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's too. Press replay. Like you thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Shay's Tube. Hold on, let me put the banner up real quick, guys. I forgot to put it up. Oh, let's see here. Hold on, y'all. I got to get it. Welcome to Shay's Tube Late Night Hours Talk Time, you guys. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watches us in the replay. Over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be. Thank you so much, Jermaine, for being here. And guys, we got a good show tonight. Okay, we're going to be talking about a dude, people, period, who were eaten alive. I told you all yesterday, or either Monday, I told you guys on Wednesday, we will have Wacky Wednesday, which we will tell you guys some of the most wackiest stories that we can find. Okay, and tonight, like I said, we have a couple of them to tell you about. But before we get started with that, let me go ahead and do the copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area, and part of it is scrolling across that screen right there. Okay? And let's go over here and do this. And if you enjoyed this content tonight, you guys, make sure that you thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure to share and leave a comment. And if you want to show additional support for this channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, a Cash App donation to $Shades Tube, or cop yourself a membership for only $4.99 per month. All right? Thank you guys so much. Now, the first thing we're going to do, guys, we're going to go ahead and talk about our top story tonight, which is eating alive. All right. And if y'all are at home or wherever you are at watching this, get yourself a drink, a relaxing seat or bed. If you are at work, continue to do your job, or watch or listen to me on the down low. All right, now. So let's go ahead and start off first with the eating alive stories, okay? Let me put my music on and everything. Let me change this right here and put this up here real quick, guys. Let's put these behind here. I hope you guys had a great day too. And a good night. And let's put this up there. Let's put the music on in the background, and then we're going to get ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the first story, Eating Alive. Guys, we're going to try to get out of here in 1 hour and 10 minutes, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and do the first story. Hold on for a second, let me get it. Let's see. We got to go to the right one. Okay, let's see. Damn, really? Oh, wow. That's damn great to hear, man. Boy, oh boy, y'all. I didn't know Cash App does all of this. All right. Let me wait till I tell you about this. This is tripped out. I did not know this. Okay, that's tripped out. Okay. Anyway, let's see here. What did you send that message to? Because I don't see it. I do not see that at all. Okay, let me see. Hold on for 1 minute, y'all, because I'm trying to see where he sent this thing at, because I don't see it. Let's go back and let me look over here. I don't see it. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, so anyway, sorry about that, you guys. Here we go. You said you could think of 100 different ways to be unalive that I would prefer over getting swallowed whole by a snake. I already was in my email. I was in the wrong part. Okay, so I really don't even want to think about being unalive. Okay, that's on everything. Anyway, all right, y'all, buckle up for this story because tonight's case is one of the most disturbing animal attacks you ever heard of. Okay, and no, this is not a movie. No urban legend, no National Geographic stuff. This is real, you guys. I mean, straight up real. No TikTok fakery, no AI fakery. It's straight up real. All right. Anyway, check this out, you guys. A man was swallowed whole by a 22-foot python, head to toe, inside the stomach. And the investigators had to cut him out of the snake. Okay? Now let that settle in your mind. Just think about that real quick. You done got swallowed whole by a 22-foot python. Okay, can you imagine that? I know you guys can't, but I mean, just think about that for a minute. Just think about this. You know, you out walking, chilling, or whatever the case is, and here's a big ass python, 22 foot. Okay, just think about that. He wrapped his body around you and just squeeze so hard that everything in you break. I can't even imagine that. Anyway, the timeline, you guys, is crazy. The details are very brutal. In the autopsy report, Lord have mercy. Now let's get into it. So the victim in this case, you guys, is a 38-year-old man named Noel Rodriguez. He worked at a palm oil plantation. Hold on for a minute. Gosh, this girl. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. So I said the victim in this case is a 38-year-old man named Noel Rodriguez. He worked at a palm oil plantation in South Sulawesi, Indonesia. Everybody described him as a quiet, hardworking, routine man. Same path he took every day to go home, same time, same route. It was a rural area, lots of forests, lots of wildlife. Every day he took this path, everything went good until one day, on June the 14th, 2024, everything changed. His world, as he knows, changed. His life was taken from him. All right. So anyway, he got off his shift around 5:30 p.m. He started to walk home like he always does. But halfway into the forest, the villagers hear one scream. Just one. Not a fight, no yelling, just one sharp scream, and then nothing else. People assumed maybe a boar charged him. Boars are common there, and they are very aggressive, okay? But when Noel didn't come home that night, that's when the search began. Villagers, family, co-workers, everybody knew something was wrong. He was a routine man, not the type to wander off. So they search, you guys. They search and search and search. Now, the next morning, about half a mile from the path, a villager notices something lying still in the bush. A massive python, 22 feet long. But something was very off about this python. The python's stomach was swollen into a perfect human shape. You could literally see the outline of shoulders, torso, legs, and everything. It looked like somebody got shrink wrapped inside it. When the villager saw this, the villager ran back screaming, "The snake ate him! The snake ate him!" By the time police came, the python was still there, motionless, digesting that person. Now the officer said, and this is a quote, "We immediately realized the victim was inside the snake's abdomen." Now get this. The villagers held the snake down, okay? The police sliced the snake's stomach open. And there he was, Noel, fully intact, clothes still on, boots still on, swallowed head first. No dismemberment, no tearing, just swallowed whole. So take that all in, you guys. Take it all in. Now, this happens because pythons dislocate their jaws and walk their mouths forward over the body like a sleeve. Once you are in, that's it. Okay? And the worst part, evidence shows this man was what? What y'all think? He was still alive when the constriction began. Can you imagine? Yeah, he swallowed everything. His boots, his clothes were still on, everything was still intact. Now, they did do an autopsy on this dude, okay? And I tell you what, I really wished I wouldn't have read it, okay? His ribs were crushed from the constriction. That's how pythons unalive people. Not by suffocation, but by cutting off the blood flow, okay? So squeezing him so tight that all the blood flow just stopped. Now, the python's saliva was found inside the dude's lungs. This means he was still breathing while being swallowed. Dang. They found scratch marks inside the snake's throat. The man fought. He tried to claw his way back up. Damn, he was clawing at the snake's throat, trying to get out. And lastly, his boots and pants were still intact in the stomach cavity. He had no chance, you guys. Dang. So the question is, why is this type of thing happening more often? Now, experts say giant python attacks are increasing because humans are moving deeper into their territory. Construction farms, palm oil plantations. Snakes don't have natural food sources anymore, so they are hunting whatever they find. Okay, these type of pythons, it's spelled RETICULATED. These type of pythons, I guess that's reticulated pythons, can reach 20 to 30 feet. They are the strongest constrictors on Earth. And if the environment gets pushed into survival mode, they will take down pigs, goats, dogs, and yes, even us. Anyway, getting back to Noel. Noel's family had a massive funeral. The entire community showed up. Indonesia officials warned that pythons in the region are now apex predators during dry season because food shortage pushes them closer to humans' pathways. The python in this story, you guys, was unalive, okay? Wildlife officials said its stomach could hold up to 200 pounds, exactly Noel's size. So he wasn't a small dude, okay, at all. Now, this is one of the most brutal, unbelievable animal attack cases ever recorded. It doesn't even feel real, but it is. And it's happening more and more. Let me know, you guys, in the comments section and over here in the chat. Would you ever walk through a forest where 20-foot pythons live? Because me, y'all, I'm staying my ass on the sidewalk, okay? And out of the forest. And that's on everything. All right? Okay. So anyway, what do you guys think about that story? That was a hot ass mess, you guys. And I want to show y'all, I think we got some videos too. So I want to show you guys some videos as well. If you did, would you walk through that forest or would you try to figure out another route to take, even if it took you a long time to get there? I'm going to tell y'all straight up, just like I said, I would stay my ass on the sidewalk on everything. I'm going to walk the longer way because I'm not going through no forest, all right, at all. You know? Shit, well, 20-foot pythons are out there. Are you losing your mind? I'm trying to live. Okay, sometimes you have to take the longer way or another way because you may not even make it. But you know what? Since he took that same route every single day at the same time, that's why he didn't think anything would happen. And that's another thing. Maybe if he would have changed up his time, because maybe that python kind of knew that he come through there every day at the same time. You'll be shocked when animals know. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. You will be shocked when animals know. All right, they be watching. My little cat in here, watch my son put some snacks up, and he went in there. I mean, she went in there and took them and ate them. Okay, so the thing is, you would be definitely shocked when animals watch, and you better be very cautious. Cautious, I mean, because mountain lions do the same thing. They watch you, okay, and then that's when they attack. Okay, so let's see here. Is this the same one right here? Well, they said 8 feet python. That may be a different one. So I don't know if this is the same dude right here. This may be a different one. Did you give me a video about the dude getting eaten by the 22-foot python? So this one right here is, I don't know. Let's look at this real quick.
The anaconda struck and latched onto his head after he covered himself in pig's.
Oh, this is a different one right here. These people are absolutely nuts. We're going to look at that one in a minute, okay? So let me see what else we got here. Because I thought maybe we would have a video on the other one. Not on the actual thing, because you probably don't. That was in a whole different, country and all that. Let's see what else we got here. That story was a something else, okay? Let's see what else we got. So on Wednesday, you guys, we're going to always have some weird, wacky stories, okay? This is him right here. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I got anything on here. No. So let me type this in on what's name and see if they got anything on it as well. Okay, let's go over here and do this. I'll go over here real quick. Okay, let's see if we can pull up anything on this one. Okay, so yeah, you see they got a lot of stories about that right there. This is the one that I was talking about right here. I wonder if he's looking like he's speaking a different language. Let me see.
An Indonesian woman was killed and swallowed whole by a 22.
Oh, that's a different one right there. So they talk about the woman swallow whole more than anything. Okay. He looked tripped out, huh? Okay, so anyway, I can't find the one with the man or anything. Let's see. Yeah, that's a different one right there. Okay. This is one showing you like what that stomach may look like. Let's look at this stomach.
Who went missing, just found swallowed alive.
So that man probably looked the same way inside of that python. He probably was looking exactly like this right here, because they said they could see his shoulders, his torso, and all of that type of stuff. That is crazy, you guys. That is crazy. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and look at some more of these strange cases of people getting swallowed whole by these, reptiles. Let's go back over to messages and let's take a look at these. So first thing first, let's look at the woman who was eaten by a snake.
What's up, TikTok? I have some odd and disturbing news for you. Listen, it didn't happen over here in the States, okay? It happened over there in India, in which there was a 45-year-old woman named Farida who left her home on Thursday night and they couldn't find her. She never returned home. So the villagers and the husband was busy looking for her. They couldn't find her, but they did find a snake. The snake is a python. The python was 16 feet long. That's a big ass python. And the python's belly looked pretty swollen. Now the villagers were thinking twice about cutting it up, but they were like, could she possibly be in there? And I'm guessing she was, because when they open the belly up, then pops out the body. Now, for most of us in the US, we don't have to worry about this issue, except for the people in Florida, because we have pythons in the Everglades that have eaten cattle and alligators. And if it can eat an alligator, it can eat you. So this is your PSA. If you live in South Florida, beware. But seriously, for that lady, rest in peace. What's up, TikTok?
That's crazy, you guys. So rest in peace to that dude too, and condolences to his family and friends. That's crazy. And this is the same. He talking about the same thing. Let's listen to him.
911. What is the location of your emergency? Hello.
I had a boa constrictor stuck to my face.
Ma'am, you have a what?
Boa constrictor.
You have a boa constrictor stuck to you.
It's a house. I'm outside with it.
You're outside with a boa constrictor stuck to your face.
Yes.
Okay.
I just rescued it yesterday. Please.
You arrested the boa constrictor
I
yesterday?
rescued it.
You rescued it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Stay on the line, please. Ma'am, I've notified the ambulance. Is the
Please, honey, get it on my nose.
Ma'am, I've notified the ambulance and the fire and the police department. So the boa constrictor has a hold of your nose.
Yes.
Can you pry its jaw open if you pinch
No,
its
I'm
jaw?
trying. There's blood everywhere.
Okay, and its jaw won't open?
No.
Okay, how big of a snake are we talking, ma'am?
She's like 5.5 feet.
5.5 feet? And you said you rescued it yesterday?
Yes, I rescued 2.
You rescued 2. Is the other one put away? 911, what is the location of your
Okay, I want
emergency?
you to hear the rest of this story right here. That's crazy. I don't know why the heck you would think you're rescuing a damn snake. Who rescues a snake? Okay, let me see if I can find this story. This is in Ohio. I don't think she got eaten all the way up. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is her in 2017. An Ohio woman who rescued 2 boa constrictor a day earlier called 911 because one of the snakes had wrapped itself around her neck and was biting her face. The phrase "got eaten" in the user's query refers to the snake biting her face, not the woman being swallowed whole. Firefighters and police arrived at her home in Sherfield Lake and found the 5.5-foot long snake still attached to the woman. A firefighter used a pocket knife to cut off the snake's head to free the woman. And earlier when we were talking about the man who got, swallowed whole by a 22-foot python, I was like, he didn't have a knife because he could use that. That's what I was saying, to cut himself out of there, but he didn't have one. God, this lady owned 11 snakes in total. Okay, the other ones being ball pythons. Now, as we just heard in that 911 call, she said, he's biting my nose. There's blood everywhere. So she was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and she was later released. Boa constrictors are not listed as dangerous wild animals, prohibited under the Ohio Dangerous Wild Animal Act, so it's unclear if the woman faced charges or had her other snakes removed. That is crazy. So that's that story right there, okay? And it happened in 2017. That's who rescues snakes though? Okay, who? That is so weird.
The anaconda struck and latched onto.
Let me go back to there.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
So we looked at this one. Now let's go look at this one right here.
The anaconda struck and latched onto his head after he covered himself in pig's blood. It wrapped itself around his body and squeezed with terrifying force. The stunt promised he would be eaten alive, but as his arm began to crack under the pressure, he yelled for his team to rescue him. Viewers were furious, expecting the snake to swallow him whole, but instead his helpers pulled the snake off when it had swallowed only the top of his head. The anaconda struck and latched onto his...
That is crazy as ever, okay? So, okay, I'm not getting this. What was the purpose of this right here? It sure could have. You said hers were only 5 feet long, but it still could have suffocated her. It definitely could. She better be glad she had a phone and can call 911, because they do it in Indonesia, along with other people who get swallowed whole by snakes there. They can't call anyone a lot of the time. And this dude right here poured pig blood all over his body, right? Weird. Let's listen to this again.
The anaconda struck and latched onto his head after he covered himself in pig's blood. It wrapped itself around his body and squeezed with terrifying force. The stunt promised he would be eaten alive, but as his arm began to crack under the pressure, he yelled for his team to rescue him. Viewers were furious, expecting the snake to swallow him whole, but instead his helpers pulled the snake off when it had swallowed only the top of his head.
So
the anaconda...
He basically was doing this as a stunt, right? Okay. This is so damn weird, okay? Very strange. People would do anything for success, I guess. It's crazy. Okay, let's listen to this one right here.
This is such a shocking story, but basically a man, 61-year-old man, grandfather, was found crushed and eaten by a 8-meter-long python in a village in Indonesia. So basically, he was out tendering from his stock, sheep, and then he went missing around about Friday morning on July the 4th, and he was reported missing while he was feeding his livestock. And it wasn't until Saturday, July the 5th, where they found his body. And how they found it was they found basically the 8-meter-long python with a very bloated body. And the locals killed the python and decided to open up to see what was inside of the python. And as they opened up, they found the body of the 61-year-old crushed and eaten and swallowed by the python. So obviously, it's a huge, tragic kind of incident, but, it's nature itself, right? So you have the python hunting for food, and in this particular unfortunate case, it was the farmer, which was the food. So obviously, it must have mistaken it for part of the livestock they was trying to look after and attacked and killed the farmer itself. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below.
So that's the dude.
This is such a short story, but basically a man, 61-year-old man,
that is
grandfather was.
Now that is a sad story. I guess they don't have any choice over there because, it's a different country and they don't have the same things that we have, I guess, or anything. And then they have to walk through so much forests and areas that are populated by these pythons. Now, this python right here was smaller than the other python. The other one was 22 feet, So this is it's just a horrible story again. And I guess that's a picture of him being inside of the snake. Like I said before, I don't think I could have, I pretty much know I can't, be walking through no forest when I know snakes and other animals are out there that will, attack or eat me. So these people are brave too, because I just know I wouldn't be able to do it. What did you say? Apex predators. It's true. He definitely did. He definitely hunted that man. There was no mistake. Okay, let's look at this one.
Snakes eating people is your content warning. The year is 2008, French Guiana. The Guyanans were experiencing a drought unlike any they had seen, at least in their memory. The river was lower than anybody had ever seen it. In fact, all of the dock, the village could be seen. If the children wanted to swim, they'd have to walk down through the dry parts of the river to get to the deeper channels. It formed almost ponds or lakes. That's where they were that day. They were enjoying themselves immensely. They felt safe because they were within shouting distance of the village. They had never so much as seen a black caiman of any size there, or an anaconda. So when the child began to scream and nobody saw what had him, they thought that the child was crying wolf until they saw the snake, a massive green anaconda. Its coils as large around as the child's waists, and it was all over the boy, its head fastened on the boy's. The children tried hitting the snake with sticks. They threw stones. One of the boys actually tried to pry the snake off, but they weren't going to budge it. So they did what kids do. They ran back for help. By the time the adults of the village had come with their machetes, it was too late. The snake had not only crushed the life from the boy, but it had swallowed him completely. The mother and father were there that day as they hacked the snake open, and they brought their son out. He hadn't been in the snake very long. The stomach acids had barely touched the boy. In fact, if it hadn't been for the bite wounds on his head, it would look like he was just asleep. Many herpetologists say that a snake cannot eat an adult human. I believe they can and have. There's some massive snakes out there. Did you know that there's a long-standing reward of $100,000 for anybody that can prove the existence of a snake that's more than 30 feet long? If you know of one, let me know. We'll go yoink it up. Snakes eating people is your content warning.
Okay, goodness. That's a big ass snake right there, you guys. Okay, but it's have been many stories about snakes eating people, especially over there in Indonesia. Okay, so it's possible. You know, like I said, the biggest one that we just uncovered tonight is the 22-foot snake. You know, but again, I don't know how these people basically, you know, be walking through that forest, because I know I wouldn't be able to do it. Hell no. Okay, I mean, no. So anyway, J4, thank you so much for being here. Happy and blessed Thursday to you. And I hope you're having a good night at work. All right, thanks for being here. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any more snake stories, Jermaine? I don't think so. Let's see something. Hold on for a minute, you guys. Okay. All right. So now, I think we're finished with those little weird stories, but I do have one that is not animal related. Okay, hold on for a minute. Let's put this back on. Okay, let's see here. I got one that is not animal related. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So, like I told you, today is Wacky Wednesday. And we have some wacky ass stories. It's not just all about animals, but I got one that I want to tell you about. I'm going to tell you, some people are straight up weird, okay? They do and say some of the strangest things. Now check this out. A British woman flew to Florida, get this, hoping to be unalived. Days later, she was found in a shallow grave. Anyway, this woman traveled to Florida planning to be unalived by a man she met on a fetish website. Okay? Let's see here what's going on. I'm waiting till it loads up. Her name is Sonia Exby. She was reported missing by her family after she missed her return flight on October the 13th. She was found unalive on October the 17th, and investigators found evidence on her computer that she was, the S word, and she traveled to the United States to be sexually abused, tortured, and possibly murdered. Some people are crazy. Because the thing about it is you are S word, you want to commit the S word, right? But what would make her want to be actually assaulted and tortured as well? That's weird. Anyway, Drain Hall, 53, of Ocala, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping. Hall already was in jail related to the fraudulent use of this lady's credit cards. Now, during an interview with police, Hall would not say if he had unalived this lady, but he did tell authorities she's happy now because she got what she wanted. That is crazy. Anyway, his arrest affidavit states that British authorities also found evidence of a S letter. People reported that the letter states she likely would be mutilated and disabled for the rest of her life if she could manage to get to him. That's crazy. That is weird. Very strange. So she wanted to be mutilated and disabled for the rest of her life. Anyway, according to WFTV9, Hall told police he had met, what is her first name? Let me get her first name because her last name is hard. He had met Sonia, okay? On a fetish website about 2 years ago. Now, the station reported that Hall told investigators that he had a mentor-type relationship with Sonia, and they had discussed bondage, the S word, and her desire to have someone unalive her. Okay. People reported that Sonia began expressing reservations to friends once she was in Florida. He made it clear there was no way out unless I shoot him. I was questioning it last night. I can't unalive anyone, she wrote to a friend, according to People. You know what? That is crazy, okay? Now, that was the end of that story, but the thing is, how could you want, first of all, you're on a fetish website where people torture, actually abuse people, kidnap, and ultimately unalive. That's the person, people who go to these websites, that's their fetish. That was her fetish. Okay, you get all the way to Ocala, Florida, right? And then you hook up with this man. Then you change your mind. You start, changing your mind. And he tells you the only way you can get out of it is if you shoot him. I just want to ask you guys, what would you do if you was in that situation? Yeah, she was hoping to be unalive, and tortured and actually assaulted. And she wanted bondage and everything. That is the craziest shit I have ever heard of. Let me see if I can find anything here on TikTok and see what they're saying about this crazy story as well. Okay, let's see here. Her name is Sonia. Let me make sure I spell her name right. Yep, this is it right here. So let me let y'all see this. All right. Let me do it on this one.
A 32-year-old woman left England and came to Florida, not for Disney, not for the beaches, but she wanted to unalive herself. That woman was Sonia Exoby, and she was very much idol, and she'd been online on fetish websites with a man named Dwayne Hall, 53, Ocala, Florida. and she agreed to pay him to torture her as well as unalive her. Her plane landed October 10th, but on October 11th, she sent a message through Discord to one of her friends. She made it perfectly clear she was regretting staying at the Airbnb with him. She said he made it clear to her that there was no other way out unless she pew-pew him. She said, I was questioning it all last night. She said, I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew. October 13th rolled around and she missed the flight back to the UK. The British authorities raised alarm and hit Interpol. Interpol raised alarm and hit Florida law enforcement, and they stepped in. By October 17th, her body was found in a shallow grave. They recovered a buried knife, and this all happened in Marion Oaks. Evidence started stacking up. Surveillance footage showed them together. Bank records confirming transactions, DNA linking her to Hall, and digital communications proved the entire plan. After finding the connections between her and him, police interrogated him about their interactions. Hall said at the Airbnb they had sex multiple times, and he even recorded it. However, he deleted it. Investigators were able to recover that video, and they saw Sonia with multiple bruises. In the video, Hall asked her, why is she there? She said, because I'm an awful person. She responds, I've crushed everyone who's ever loved me. He continues to question her to get her consent to harm her, but detectives say she was visibly upset, very hesitant, as she nods yes. After he unalives her, he pulls his own work truck up, this is his business, on Yelp, and pulls her body out of the Airbnb and puts it into a shallow grave. Crazy part about the whole story, he was already locked up by the time they found the body on fraud charges. Using credit cards, unlawful use of two-way communication devices. While sitting in jail, investigators connected him to Sonia. Now this fool is sitting behind bars on murder in the first degree, kidnapping on top of them fraud charges. The judge denied him bond, and he's waiting on trial. Sonia's family put out a statement in Portsmouth. They said she had multiple attempts of UAI, and she struggled with her mental health, but they are devastated. Whole time moral of the story is, consent does not erase accountability. And schmurder is schmurder. A 32-year-old woman left England and came to Florida, not for Disney, not for the beaches, but she wanted to unalive herself. That woman was Sonia Exoby, and she was very much idol, and she'd been online on fetish websites with a man named Dwayne Hall, 53.
I tell you, some people just, they are gone, man. Goodness. It's a shame that her family couldn't get her help. But it's kind of hard when people are grown. And this man, with his weird stuff, preyed right upon this girl. It's crazy. I don't understand why he think he wasn't going to go to prison for this. That's crazy. Let me see what else they're saying about him.
The woman pictured here on the left was suicidal, so she traveled to the state of Florida in order to be sexually abused and possibly murdered, like by her own doings. That's what she wanted. A man has now been arrested. This story is so crazy. So police in Florida have arrested a man in connection with the murder of a British woman who traveled to the United States, and that was in order to be sexually assaulted and possibly murdered. On October 13th, investigators got a report about this woman after she missed a flight back to the UK. An arrest affidavit identified the woman as Sonia Exoby, and she is from Portsmouth, England. Within days of investigators getting that report, her remains were found in Marion Oaks, Florida. Authorities said she died from a homicide. On this past Monday, November 17th, 53-year-old Dwayne Hall, who is pictured here on the right, was arrested by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Police eventually found writings that were left on Sonia's computer. And in those writings, it was said she was very suicidal. And she stated that she was going to be traveling to America to be sexually abused, tortured, and possibly murdered. She wanted that. She allegedly connected with several people from the United States before her mission started. British investigators also reportedly found evidence of a suicidal letter that she wrote where she anticipated being mutilated and disabled for the rest of her life in the event that she managed to get to him, meaning the man who was going to harm her or do all of this to her. According to reports, police identified Dwayne as the suspect after they traced him to an account that had tried to transfer money from Sonia's bank account since October 11th. It was said that he did that several times. On October 17th, Dwayne had a voluntary interview with police, and during that, he allegedly told several inconsistent stories about his interactions with Sonia. He, to begin with, tried to act like he didn't know her before he finally admitted that he had sex with her several times and discussed with her her bondage, suicidal, and desire to have someone kill her fantasies. He had also stated that if he had tried to help her, he would have taken her to Alligator Alley, where the wildlife would have taken care of her. He would not answer, though, when he was asked if he killed her, but he did say she is happy now because she got what she wanted. He was eventually arrested and charged with fraudulent use of a credit card and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. At the time of his arrest this week for the murder charges, he was already behind bars on those fraudulent charges. But listen to this. In an arrest affidavit for Dwayne's murder charges, authorities said Sonia appeared to actually have doubts last minute, and she reached out to a friend through the social media app called Discord, saying that a man was holding her against her will. She didn't say the man's name, though. She said he made it clear there was no way out unless I shoot him. I was questioning it last night. I can't kill anyone. Those were her words to the friend on Discord. She also reportedly said in those messages that she was made to record 3 disclaimer messages and write a letter to her family because the man thought it was funny. Then police also reviewed a cell phone video where Dwayne is seen telling Sonia to answer questions like how she wants to die. Even though Sonia did answer, which seemed to express her consent, it was said she hesitated before answering several of the questions. A loved one of Sonia's said in a social media post before they found out she had died that she was a vulnerable person who was really struggling with her mental health. The family member said they believed that Sonia arranged to meet someone in Tallahassee, Florida, and had gotten herself into an extremely vulnerable situation. Dwayne is currently charged with murder and kidnapping in addition to those fraudulent charges. He has reportedly pled not guilty to all 4 of the charges against him. This is absolutely wild, and I can't even imagine what was going through Sonia's mind to even want to plan something like this. I wish she would have gotten help before she went to Florida. I pray that justice is served in this case, and my heart and prayers also go out to all of her loved ones. For more true crime, be sure to follow and subscribe.
So again, like I just told you guys, on Wednesday, we are going to have the most wackiest, strangest stories you have ever heard. So that is my segment on people that eating alive and stories like the one you just heard. All right. And if you got any comments, you can put those in the comment area once this video is over. My condolences are expressed out for all the people who were unalive in these stories that I told you guys, and my prayers are with their families. All right. And it's a shame that she couldn't get the help that she actually needed versus, linking up with some crazy man off the internet. Okay. All right. So anyway, guys, let me give y'all a couple of breaking news. Let me take this off real quick. And then I'll show a couple of videos, and then we are going to get out of here. Okay. That was a trip. Both of those, all those stories. Okay. Every single one of them. Now let me do this real quick. Let me do it like this. So it's breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. I'm only going to give you guys a couple of breaking news articles. Let me take hers off. So somebody else clearly who said that they wanted to unalive President Trump in Vance. Okay. Hold on, let me just get the whole story so I can get it correct. Anyway, he said, I will order that stupid Fucker. So this is a man who threatened to put Trump and Vance in a body bag. Okay. That man was just sentenced to prison. Okay. Let's see here. A 67-year-old Michigan man who threatened to assassinate President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance if they ever return to the city will be going to prison over the graphic threats he posted to social media. U.S. District Judge Paul L. Maloney on Monday ordered James Donald Vance Jr. not to be confused with the current Vice President, James David J.D. Vance, to spend 2 years in a federal correctional facility. Authorities announced just 2 years. James Vance in July formally pleaded guilty to 1 count of threatening to unalive or injure the President and Vice President of the United States and 1 of sending an interstate threatening communication. He entered an open plea, meaning there was no agreement in place with prosecutors regarding James Vance's sentence. So let's see. So an indictment filed in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Michigan stated that James Vance knowingly and willfully threatened to take the life of and to inflict bodily harm upon the President and Vice President of the United States. James Vance made the incriminating post on April the 1st under the username DiaperJDB. He said if Trump, and he thought because he wrote it, see, that's what y'all be thinking, because you write something and you spell it wrong, or you leave out letters, or you use other weird stuff. You think they don't know what you're talking about. You think you can't get in trouble. Well, this is the same thing this man did. He said if Trump, Vance, or Musk ever come to my city again, they will leave it in a body bag. I will either be shot by a Secret Service sniper or spend the rest of my life in prison. I've only got about 10 years of life left anyway, so I don't effing care either way. Goodness. The charge of threatening to unalive the president carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in a federal prison, as well as a fine up to $250,000. The threatening communication charge in connection with the post states that in writing the comment on Blue Sky, James Vance was consciously disregarding a substantial risk that his communication will be viewed as threatening violence against other persons. Then he did another threat. Now this stems from a March the 7th post in which James Vance allegedly threatened the president in response to another user's post that was titled Donald Trump Jr. considering a run for president in 2028. In response, James Vance wrote, I will order that stupid effort before he gets Secret Service protection. Okay? James Vance's sentence makes him the second defendant in the last 2 months to be in prison in Western Michigan over threats to unalive Donald Trump. Anyway, U.S. District Judge Jane M. Beckering on October the 20th sentenced Richard James Springs to 18 months in prison and fined him $2,000 after he pleaded guilty to 1 count of making threats to unalive and injure the president. He said, I promise I will make sure he is assassinated before his first effing year. And that is what Spring wrote in one of the social media posts that led to his arrest, according to a sentencing memo filed last month. So that is crazy as ever. You really can't be going around making threats, okay, on the president or vice president life, really on anyone's life, but certainly not on theirs. Okay, that's silly. On the internet, that's crazy. Somebody said freedom of speech crosses the line when you threaten someone. I don't know why some people think they can say anything and get away with it, you know, hiding under the freedom of speech. It's not going to work. Okay, it's not going to work. Now let's go ahead and tell y'all another breaking news story. So D4VD, you guys, he is now, his name is David, okay? He is now suspected in the teen Celeste Rivers, unaliving. He is a suspect now, okay? So they just came out with this, I think, 2 days ago when they said he is now considered a suspect. So he is under investigation as a suspect in the unaliving of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. As we know, Celeste's decomposed body was discovered on September the 8th in the trunk of a Tesla registered to Burke, according to NBC News. Celeste, who was reported missing from Lake Elsinore in April 2024, was last seen on April the 5th of that year. So we know how she was found in the car. I'm not going to go back over that again, but I will say this again. David is now a suspect. Okay, he's considered a suspect. And once the autopsy report is finalized, then they will consider, this being a homicide. Now, they said despite initial claims that Burke's spokesperson that he was cooperating with authorities, sources later state that he has not been cooperating. Okay. So I don't know if he was or if he wasn't cooperating, but they're telling conflicting, they're giving conflicting information. And they did say that body was dismembered, okay? So we're just waiting on the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's report. And then after that, no telling, okay? No telling, okay? And so I think, let me make sure if that's it that I want to tell you guys. Let me make sure I don't forget anything. And y'all do know O.J. Simpson estate agreed to pay Ron Goldman's father, let me see how much it is. I think $55 million. No, I think it's somewhere around that amount. Okay. And I'll tell y'all more about that story tomorrow. That's crazy though. And that's it for breaking news, you guys. Now we're going to look at these other viral videos, and that's going to be it for tonight. We've been on here for an hour and 3 minutes. We got about 10 minutes left, so we're going to show these videos. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see what Jermaine got me tonight. Let's do this again.
When it comes to 3-year-old Kanaya, Michael, you are not the father.
That's funny.
When it comes to 3-year-old Kanaya, Michael, you are not the father. When it comes to 3-year-old,
that's super cute. And a super cute puppy. Okay, let's go up here.
When 12-year-old Rosie noticed her guinea pig Maxibon was missing, she checked the garden and got the fright of her life. A snake had Maxibon in its jaws. Instead of running, Rosie grabbed the python's tail and started spinning and spinning. But the snake held on, giving Maxibon a terrifying ride until the dogs and dad stepped in. The snake let go and Maxibon was free.
I saw this snake and then it just wrapped around his neck.
What happened next was instinct.
Didn't even think through. I was just like, grab the snake. Grab the snake.
Maxibon seems no worse for wear after his brush with death or this wild ride.
I'm very happy that they've survived. Yeah.
I'm proud that my Rosie, at 12 years old, had the guts to, pick up a snake and save her pet's life.
As for the snake, clearly oblivious to Maxibon's namesake.
Maxibon, for those who like to bite a frog and they can chew.
It slithered off, likely still hungry and a little bit dizzy. Sammy Barnes, 7 News. When 12-year-old
All right. Glad that her
When 12-year-old
her
Rosie
guinea pig,
noticed
you know,
her
it was a
guinea
guinea
pig Maxibon was missing, she checked the
I'm
garden
glad
and got
that
the
she was able to save her little guinea pig, okay? Mike, you can't get in there. No, you gonna get it. You gonna get it. Yeah, you are stupid. Not you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh, shit.
This is really good.
Go. Yeah, right there. No, come on. Hurry up. I'm lazy, y'all. Let's play this one. No. Look at this right here. Girl. You don't get it too slow. You're too slow. Look at this. I ain't doing nothing. Oh, girl. I know he was gonna get her, but yeah, I know he gonna get his goofy self. We just saw this. Oh no, he's the only one who got right. No, that would be fun to play this.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Sarah. This is really good.
Go. Yeah, right there. It just shows you how people, when they get scared, they just be like basically just panicking. And that's what gets a lot of people unalive, panicking. Good. This was a good ass video right here. I wouldn't mind playing that game. Okay, not in real life, but playing the game. Oh no, we can't play this. Fail her butt down. Come on now, girl. You know good and damn well you couldn't do that. What were you thinking? You was on that phone too much, huh? Big Alicia. She said, damn, why did the chair give up like that? You know why, girl. You know why. What? Why?
A video went viral after an employee of the Denver Department of Public Health and Environment poured bleach into a taco vendor's food. According to the DDPHE, their investigation of tacos to Colorado found the vendor was using a garbage can of dirty water as a hand washing station and keeping meats at 54 degrees and 82 degrees instead of the required 135 degrees.
Oh, wow.
They also claim that the food vendor had raw meat in cardboard boxes sitting out on a table instead of in refrigerated storage. The food stand's owner, Garcia Barrientos, claims that the department has never contacted him prior and that when they showed up, they were not in IDs or badges. However, the video does show that they are in DDPHE labeled shirts with identification on lanyards. TMZ spoke with a City and County of Denver spokesperson who said, over the past several weeks, DDPHE has been closely monitoring Colorado due to serious public health concerns. The vendor has been operating without a required business license and has repeatedly failed to follow essential food safety practices. They also say they were forced to destroy the food on site because the vendor did not have a dumpster. And the volume of the food made it hard for them to quickly remove it themselves. A video went viral.
That's wow. But you know, I'm on their side to help inspector because you know you can make a lot of people sick. That's why I don't buy food from those type food places. Because when I first moved here, I ate a hot dog or someone a hot dog. I don't know what you call that thing, like a Polish boy, and that daggone thing made all of us sick. You know what I'm saying? So ever since 2013, when I moved here, I have not bought any food from these vendors ever again. So I am on the health department side, okay, in regards to that video. What is he doing? Praying? That's tripped out. It's cute though. His hands out and stuff. It's super, super cute. Oh, here he go again. Look, they go fall and dance. Look at him. Oh. That's not funny. He's jamming. Look at him. Get it. Oh. Look, let's see what this is right here. Somebody said, why are they programmed to fall like that? I guess it's what. Okay, so that's why he fall like that. He dropped on deck and flopped like a fish. He sure did. He definitely did. But anyway, these little things are still smart. Okay, wait, let me do this. They are still smart though. He was jamming too. He was dancing his butt off. Okay, let's look at this, see what's going on.
They're always playing right in front of our faces. Always playing. I mean, look at this. This is Patsy. That's Erica. John Bonet. They'd be about the same age. Erica Kirk is 36 and John Bonet Ramsey would be about 35 years old. The similarities are just undeniable in this one. They are undeniable. You guys have got to stop. I mean, I thought Katy Perry was John Bonet Ramsey. This is absolutely getting out of hand, out of control. I don't even know where you guys got this. Like, where did you guys come up with this and when? Like, how long did it take you to figure it? This stuff blows my mind. Like, really? Really? Do you think John Bonet just didn't ask any questions? She just went with this other family and was like, okay, I'm Erica now. And have you seen pictures of Erica when she was a kid? She even said it herself. I looked like a little boy. Go look at the pictures of Erica Kirk as a kid. Come on, guys.
Okay.
Always playing right in front of our.
That is crazy. When your son slaps the hell out of you, but you have to remember he's just a baby. Let's see this. That baby didn't hit him that hard. AI is just crazy, isn't it, you guys? Okay. Super cute baby.
Come on, blood. Shamar looking at. Shamar. Come here. What you want, Shamar? Foot. Shamar, foot. What you want, Shamar? Shamar looking at. Come on. Look at them ankles, boy. Shamar looking at. Junior. Hey, foot, don't touch my brother, foot.
What's going on here?
Look at them bitches, bad crackhead. Other bitches, Mark. That's his ass.
Is this the video where these kids attack this woman and her child? These are bad little ass kids, y'all. I just saw this article. Listen, I just saw this news article right here on my phone. This is the same one where they said these kids, a mob of kids, attacked this woman and her child. Isn't this woman handicapped? This is crazy. Listen, these parents need to take control of their kids. And black people, do better, please. Damn.
The big kid's not touching them. I'm saying, I should smash that bitch on my brother. Damn! Crack, damn!
That's crazy.
Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my motherfucking homie go.
That is sad. All these parents of these kids need to be in trouble as well. Look at them, they just beating up the little kid. That's crazy.
They working
That's crazy, y'all.
Oh my God.
You hear a baby crying.
Come on, blood.
This is sad, man. There ain't shit. I hope they get all those little badass kids. I really do. That's crazy. That woman is handicapped or something. She's pregnant too, huh? That's sad. I need to look up this story because I just had it on my phone, but I didn't know it was this right here. This is crazy, man. Let me look this up real quick. Say something real quick. Let me see. I want to see if I can find the story so I can see what else happened. That little fat ass kid who started hitting her need her little butt whoop. Okay? And people should be outraged. So let's see here. Mom and 9-year-old son, he did not look 9. That's sad, man. So a young mother says she and her 9-year-old son were beaten by a group of children and teens while walking Monday just blocks away from a Chicago public school. Chicago, man, y'all just keep on doing shit, huh? This is in far south side, just blocks away from Chicago public school. The 33-year-old woman and her 9-year-old son were walking just after 3 p.m. in the 10600 block of South Beasley Avenue when a group of offenders approached and struck the victim multiple times. Both the son and the mom were taken to an area hospital where they were initially listed in serious condition. Damn. So they said this stemmed from bullying at Chicago's Orville Bright Elementary School in the South Deering neighborhood. So her daughter was there too? Or either somebody else was there watching. That's crazy. Is that, wait a minute, hold on. See what this lady's name is. Yeah, so her daughter was there too. She said she was with both her son and her daughter at the time of the attack. So they did call for a meeting with the school administrators after this incident. This is crazy. I want to see what they're going to do to those kids. Just making long speeches and shit is not going to do anything. Right, somebody said they need to hold the parents accountable. I said the same thing. Damn. Charges should be pressed on those kids and they should be expelled from school. So Chicago police did say this incident remained under investigation. These little juvenile delinquents need their butts beat. Okay, then they need to be expelled from school and, put in detention home because that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. That is crazy, you guys. Okay, let's watch that again. Because this is a shame.
Shamar looking at.
Shamar! Yeah, handicapped or something. I'm not sure.
What you want Shamar for?
I guess that's why they call her Shamar. That little rapper dude.
Shamar for what you want, Shamar? Shamar looking at. Ma. Look at them ankles, boy. Shamar looking at.
Oh, that's her daughter right there, and then her son is right there. And she is pregnant.
Hey, so don't touch my brother foot.
Look at her little daughter. That's sad.
Look at them bitches, man.
The little boy crying already. He's 9. The little boy was already crying, okay? And the little girl was over. That's sad. These little juvenile ass brats need their ass whooped. They're kicking the little kids and everything.
The little kids in them, not the big kids. The big kids not touching them. I'm saying the little ones. I was gonna smash that bitch on my brother.
This little fat ass right here. I hope they get on camera and put her at the detention center.
Hey, Phil, let my homie go.
See, that's why that's why these men, the baby's dads or dad, that's why they need to be there. Okay? Goodness. Stop making babies dads if you can't be there with your family.
Let my motherfucker.
Look at this shit.
Beat his ass, Joe.
They put a little boy down. I don't think they did nothing to the little girl. They got a little girl right there. The little girl just stood over there crying. That's sad. She just crying. That was crying, that little girl. Oh, that's sad.
Come on.
They need their ass kicked for real. Goodness. She could have defended herself against those kids. She really could have. But it was too many. They jumped her anyway. They could have very well unalived her and her kid. You don't just sit there. You can't sit there. Hey, young Riz, thank you so much for being here. You can't just sit there and let a child unalive you. Come on now. I don't think anything happened to the little girl. I don't think they messed with the little girl. That is sad, man. Got to do better. I'm telling you. Got to do better. Parents, you need to be a parent. Because this does not even make any type of sense right here. They were seriously beaten too. That's crazy. That is so crazy, you guys. I'm going to stay on top of this story right here because I want to see what happens to these little kids, because this just does not make any sense. And I'm glad the neighbors are calling for community action, okay? As they should be. So they did launch an investigation on that, okay? Let me see what this story says right here. Hold on, let's see. Let's see what story this is. Hold on for a second, y'all. Let me look at this real quick. Okay, I just want to see that story because they was talking about it on Facebook too. Okay, let me get off this damn Facebook right here and log out. But that's very, like I said, that is very, heartbreaking to see that happening. You know what I'm saying? And parents, you need to, keep your kids under control, because if she would have had a GUN and laid all of them out, y'all would have thought something was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So get your kids under control, because that's plain ridiculous. These kids are so disrespectful that they will go out here and fight the mother, and they weren't doing anything to these kids but walking. That's crazy. And then you wonder why certain people say certain things. Shh, y'all better do better. All right, let's go ahead. And like I said, I'll stay on top of the story just to see what's going to happen, because hopefully, they will get justice on everything. They were seriously hurt. Seriously hurt, okay? Oh, so this is one of the this is one of the parents of the Chicago kids that jumped their pregnant mother, and her kids has spoken out. Okay, let's see what she's talking about. It's everywhere. Let's look at this.
We've all seen the video. Everybody's been sharing it. The public outcry is definitely there, and we're all on the same accord that we want. I think more so than anything, we want everybody to understand that this is a child. All of them children that was in that video was children. Some of them, not all of them, may have families, but this baby here, she has a family that cares, that loves her, that has held her accountable. She understands what is going on, and I don't expect her to speak. We do not expect her to speak as we are going to speak, because she's a child.
Girl, shut your black ass up, because the thing is this right here. Your child was over there fighting a grown-ass woman with her two small kids, and then the woman is pregnant, okay? Very disrespectful, very just brutal. They could have unalived the kid or the mom. Then what would you be saying? There's no explanation for that or anything else. I hope they file charges on your child and put her ass in the detention center, because you don't do that. What's going to happen when she unalives someone? That's crazy.
What grade are you in, Kamara?
8th.
She's in 8th grade.
What grades do you get?
A's and B's.
And you out there fighting?
I was homecoming queen. I'm the captain of the cheerleading team. Person.
We will know that this baby, as well as all the other babies that's in that video, are very much our future. So if we laughing at them, we laughing at ourselves.
Girl, lady, you need your butt whooped because you should not be up here making videos saying this foolishness. We know this child is a child. That's why kids need to act like kids, okay? Period. If people want to laugh, they can, because she should have been out there doing that in the first place. And I hope that they do something to these kids, because this is unacceptable. That's what's wrong now. Parents are not holding their kids accountable for real. She's sitting up here basically, I don't know what she's doing. I would have been like, I got on my daughter's butt. I spanked her butt or her butt for doing what she did. Period. She's on a punishment. No phone, no computer. I'm going to pick her up from school, take her to school. I'm going to do all of that. Goodness. And then I would have made the girl go over to the lady and apologize. I really would have. This is unacceptable. Straight up. I don't want to hear any more of her foolishness. Period. Goodness. And I'm going to take this away because I don't, please. Right. A biography. Nobody cares about that shit. Right. There are many serial unalivers who got straight A's and B's. Okay. Many people in jail right now that got A's and B's. Okay. That's crazy. And she may have A's and B's and homecoming queen. Okay. And this woman back here smiling and stuff. Look at this. That's crazy. Then y'all wonder why certain people say the things that they say. That girl is in the 8th grade. She know what's up. And I hope that they put all of their little badasses on charges. I really do. Right. She's not a baby. Definitely no. Go out there and steal something and see. Somebody say, held accountable. Did you put a belt to the ass? Right. Making excuses. That's what she's doing. Is this a joke? Why is she even doing a video? Right. They should be hiring lawyers. They beat this lady and her child, and it was in serious condition. This is like a daggone felony. Okay. And this is assault and battery, because the lady wasn't even, she was trying to hit back, but she didn't hit them or anything first. This is our future. The future going to be like those badass delinquents. Man, y'all messed up. Okay. Somebody said that was the ringleader talking about she was following. That they were following you. Right. Somebody said she should have disciplined her child in private and not brought her to the internet, because this didn't help it at all. Her response was completely toned, to the severity of what took place. Right. She had on those headphones. She kicked it off. Exactly. Fat ass. That's exactly what I said about her. I would have forgot she was a child, but it was a lot of kids, that was ganging up on her. You up there swinging on a grown woman. Just a lack of disrespect. Gosh, a lack of respect. I mean, no, just very disrespectful. This should be all over social media, not just Facebook, because this is unacceptable, you guys. Homecoming queen. Goodness. She need to be grounded, get a spanking, and she'll be taken to school and picked up, put in one of those alternative schools. Somebody, she's a child, but she was acting grown and doing the most. That's crazy. I don't want to hear no more of this foolishness, because this right here is a face of a foolish person.
And to the parents,
I think everybody, we've all
child somewhere else in the future. Okay, shit.
And to the parents of all them kids in Chicago that jumped that pregnant mother, all y'all need to be in court by Monday.
They sure do.
And to the parents of all them kids that jumped that pregnant mother and her kids, all y'all need to be in court by Monday morning. I took the morning to wait to post about this because I had to see exactly how many messages I was going to get about this, because I have never even had this many messages sent to me about one specific thing. This mother was on the way home from school. It wasn't a child that she had in high school. This wasn't 11th or 12th grader that kids had problem with. This was a very young minor. And there was older kids, younger kids, a group of them that were basically preying on this mother and her children. So much so that she fell on the ground and they commenced to start jumping her. Now, today I'm hearing that it's a lot of police activity up at the school, and we have not got the information about that. But all of those parents who had their kids involved in this, there needs to be charges brought up for the simple fact to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Right.
Now, to the parents of those kids that was jumping that pregnant mother outside in Chicago, I don't know what you're doing at home, but tonight it better be some whooped asses up in that house. Huh? I'm talking about one of them old back in the day ones. I'm talking about give them a bath, let them go, think they going to sleep, and commence to whooping that ass in the dark. Yeah, these kids need that. Because this mother already looked like she was going through it. In the video, they pointed out stuff that was going on with her ankles, ass. She not talking to the best of her abilities. Come to find out, she was in the hospital the last couple of days. And these kids taking tack on her. Now, if she would have hit them back, then y'all would be talking about, she hitting kids. She should have left that up to a grown person or called the police. This is why stuff is happening in society right now, because our kids aren't being trained properly. Sidebar, that was my baby mama. Lord Jesus. Huh? Chicago wouldn't have had nothing left. I would have scorched the earth. Chicago would have just been another part of Illinois.
I would have did all that, but they
y'all get in the comments, tell me what y'all think. But this is crazy.
Okay, somebody said that they moved her out of her home. I hope so. And little Zay Osama flying them out to LA for Christmas shopping. They will all be even more mad. Well, I'm glad they moved her out of that home. Okay. I hope that she really did move, because I can't find any updated information on that. They need to be charged, every single one of them. And even if she would have hit them back, how would that be wrong? All them damn kids ganging up on her. Y'all crazy? I thought maybe she had a medical thing. They said she wasn't pregnant. Her spleen is just enlarged. She has sickle cell. Because the way she was walking and stuff. So it is what it is. Well, I don't know who this little person is. I think one thing they should definitely, those kids need to be in trouble. Now, I want to know why they was jumping her too. They said because people have been bullying her son and took a step further and was disrespectful and caught the mom also. These children are from homes where the moms have very ghetto mentalities and don't teach them manners and respecting adults. A couple of the parents are already online, and we see where the children get it from. Somebody said, look at their skin, LOL. That's what I'm saying. Or they are just ghetto. And y'all still get up here and be doing stupid stuff like this. And this is why they be saying all this stuff. That's crazy. The thing about it, the person who brought that up about the skin, we know who it was. The thing about it, it doesn't matter who else does what, okay? They're not put out in the limelight like we are. So therefore, parents, be a parent and teach your kids not to do stuff like this. That's on everything. Y'all always seeing what the other culture doing, but yet they don't talk about that culture. They don't put those people out in, the limelight like they do us, okay, when our people do something. Don't worry about what they do. Just stop your kids from doing this foolishness right here. I don't know if this lady was pregnant or what. Or if it's from sickle cell. I don't know. The thing about it, regardless of whatever she got going on, these kids shouldn't have been doing all of this, period. I don't care how many, listen, it's too many of them, okay? even if she did hit back. It's just too many. Okay, point blank, it is too many. That's why they did it. That's sad. So let's see this real quick, and then when we see that, that's going to be it today, okay?
Did you motherfuckers hear what Elon Musk's father said on CNN?
Let's
You
see.
see, if you take South Africa, we have a small white population that projects European culture, or what we learned from Europe.
And oppressed millions of black people.
No.
For decades.
How do you oppress? We gave them work. We fed them. They grew from a tiny little group into a massive group. That's not oppression. That's feeding them. We fed them, for crying out loud. Enough with this nonsense.
But so you understand, because the black population was so oppressed under apartheid.
Well, we never saw this oppression you're talking about.
You never saw it.
No, I never saw it.
Yeah, but because you're white.
So now you can understand where his hate for black people come from. Like father, like son. The fact that he went on CNN and said that and act like nothing was wrong. That's probably how most of you motherfuckers from that age group actually feel. People like this is the reason why racism still exists. It's not just in this country. It's all around the world. Birds of a feather flock together. Why you think Elon and Trump was so cool? For people to still think like this in this day and age is insane. Did you motherfuckers hear what Elon Musk's father said on CNN?
You see, if you take South Africa, we have a small white population that projects European culture, or what we learned from Europe.
And oppressed millions of black people.
No.
For decades.
How do you oppress?
And to the parents of all...
I was looking at this right here. Damn, I hate when I do that.
Did you motherfuckers hear what Elon Musk's father said on CNN?
You see, if you take South Africa, we have a small white population that projects European culture, or what we learned from Europe.
And oppressed millions of black people.
No.
For decades.
How do you oppress? We gave them work. We fed them. They grew from a tiny little group into a massive group. That's not oppression. That's feeding them. We fed them, for crying out loud. Enough with this nonsense.
But so you understand, because the black population was so oppressed under apartheid.
Well, we never saw this oppression.
Oh, like I said, that's why, TikTok is a good place to get a lot of information, okay, and to see certain things, all right? So I'm glad that it's still here. And thanks, Jermaine, for all of these videos and all of this information in these videos and stuff, and all that, okay? That's it, y'all. Let me go ahead and take this off. Gosh. And I will be staying on top of that story of those kids jumping that woman and her kids, for sure. But that's plainly ridiculous. And let me stress this again. We as parents, we need to remember first and before anything else, we need to be good parents. All right, when our kids do things, they need to be held accountable. Okay, put them on punishment, take away their phones and things like that. Don't let that stuff pass by. Okay, and then make excuses for them, because what happens is that they grow older and they start doing more things, but you're not going to be able to save them. Okay, because they're going to go to jail. Anyway, thank you to Jermaine for being here. Young Riz, J4, I know you probably sleep now, which is expected. Everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay, y'all don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this content. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe below and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. And if you want to show additional support for the channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, cash app donation, and $Shades2, or you can copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month. Like I said before, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hype this video up if you watch it in the replay. And I'll see you guys in my next video. And check out all my other videos. And if you are into Country Wayne, check that out tomorrow, early afternoon, for the latest Country Wayne reaction video. Y'all have a good night and a happy and blessed Thursday. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Let me go ahead and change this banner real quick. And then we are out of here. Let's see what I do with it. Okay, never find stuff up here. It is right here. All right, y'all. Good night.